Yeah.
Call the meeting to order at 4:11, the April 26th regular meeting. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Fiorito,
Here.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Here?
Chairman Meyer.
Here.
Also present, Deputy Clerk Schulteis.
Community Liaison Officer Convoy.
Chief of Police Al Stuffin.
Approval of minutes. I read them over, found them to be accurate. Sharon or Joe, do you have anything to add?
I think they're fine.
I'm fine with them as well.
Motion to approve as submitted. All in favor, say aye.
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 And I'd like to make a motion to go into closed section for the purpose of personnel matters and to discuss testing process for a new recruit list.
A second?
It's a
Roll call?
Commissioner Hoffman,
Aye.
Commissioner Fiorito,
Aye.
Chairman Meyer.
Aye. We're now back in open session. And Chief, pending business?
Yes, testing results, we had the written test that was held last weekend. We had 27 applicants that scored 70% or higher. I believe there's 44 people that took the test. And now we have to set a date for the interviews with the candidates, or dates.
And giving our time frame, the recommended dates by you would be?
The weekend of Memorial Day weekend, which is the
27th and 28th?
correct.
Motion to direct the chief to set up oral interviews for our 27 candidates in whatever order we've done in the past on the 27th and 28th of May, 2017.
And then we'll also need a motion to accept the, to establish a list of 27.
Okay, we don't need a motion to set the dates?
I think we do need to have motions.
Okay, that's what I thought that's what I thought I just made.
Yes, you did.
So I need a second for that.
I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, and we need a motion to accept the 20, so moved to accept the 27 candidates that have passed with a score of 70% or better, and I will need a second for that.
Second?
Do you think we need a roll call for that?
I would do a roll call.
Yeah,
Okay. Commissioner Hoffman,
Aye.
Commissioner Fiorito,
Aye.
Chairman Meyer.
aye. When in doubt, do a roll call.
Always do a roll call, I agree.
Old business?
We have no old business right now. New business, sorry, let me defer to you, Chairman. Old business, we have nothing on the table right now, other than the fact that we finished up the written test, and that's taken up quite a bit of our time,
Okay.
so.
Any department updates?
Yes, sir. We have the Community Day that's sponsored by both the Police Department and the Fire Department coming up on June 3rd. It's an open house event. And at the open house, the Lions also serve a pancake breakfast. We'll have representatives from the dispatch center there to answer questions along with their displays. We'll have the NIPUS truck, and we'll have the MCAT van there as well.
What time does that start?
Karen, what time does it start?
9 to noon.
The other The other matters I'd like to update you on is that we've had two officers that were involved in pretty good, not incidents, but they've done a pretty good job of police work. And I just want to, and the two of them are newer officers. The first is Jocelyn Garza. She was out on patrol in the neighborhoods and observed a vehicle over in the Minocqua, Nowata area. And it was parked in the middle of the street, stopped, and then when she pulled up, the driver looked up, and this was later at night, just after midnight. He makes a U-turn, ends up driving up on the grass, and then then she turns around to follow the vehicle, drives on the grass again 2 more times, and she stops the vehicle. He had been drinking, but more importantly, he also had 3 ounces of cocaine, 20 grams of ketamine, $3,000 in cash, and also a number of balloons that were filled with nitrous oxide.
Really?
And so she made the arrest for DUI, found the drugs, and we've seized the cash and the vehicle, which was like a 2010 Lexus SUV. And-
Driving Dad's car?
No, his car.
It was his?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Local?
Yes, Arlington Heights. Well, not Prospect Heights, but Arlington.
Right.
But that's local. Yeah.
I would suspect that it seems like he might have been like at a home bar and had been selling product there and left and went someplace and stopped and was making phone calls to go to the next spot, and she just happened to come upon him. It was a good job. of
Good police work, yeah.
Yeah. The other incident involved also some great police work in the fact that he had the wherewithal to stop. Officer Michael Coglanese was on patrol on Camp McDonald, saw a traffic violation, went to stop the vehicle. The offender then proceeded to actively try to get away, fleeing and looting, and followed him for a little bit, and then announced that he was shutting down the pursuit and he wasn't going any further. Put out a description of the vehicle. Mount Prospect started chasing the vehicle on Wolf Road. The vehicle ended up getting in a crash in Des Plaines. It was a stolen vehicle, and the folks inside had just committed a retail theft at the Walmart in Mount Prospect.
Wow.
They cordoned off, one person was in the car, the driver actually fled. They cordoned off the area and coordinated a search, and they found the driver as well. So both of them were taken into custody. However, Mike did the right thing. As soon as the pursuit started getting out of hand, what he did was he put out the description of the vehicle, and it happened just the way it should happen.
Good.
So when he does that, he sends that to dispatch, and dispatch sends it out to the surrounding suburbs, or?
We shared a channel with Mount Prospect and Elk Grove Village, so Mount Prospect was already gravitating towards the area when they heard him put out the dispatch, and that the subject was taking active measures to try to evade him. And then when he announced that he was stopping, and also put out that the fact that he had turned southbound on Wolf Road, there was Mount Prospect unit just down the road, so he tried stopping him as well. And then he stopped, and then a short while later, the guy crashed. But I've seen way too many incidents where we chase folks, for traffic, and something bad happens. And usually when something bad happens, it involves a totally innocent bystander.
Yes.
So our policy dictates that we only chase when there's clear evidence that a felony, a forcible felony has been committed. You know, like a kidnapping
Right.
or an armed robbery. Other than that, we tell them not to chase. As soon as they start taking active measures to elude for traffic, you shut it down.
Right.
And he did a good job. The other thing I'd like to mention is that, you know, we all know everybody in the community that has lost some type of family member to heroin. We have an officer that lost a brother
No way.
Oh, boy.
to heroin. And, you know,
Just-
I won't go on the record about that, but I just want to say it's
One of our
affected
officers
one of
just-
our officers.
Just recently,
Just recently, yes.
Mm-hmm.
boy, you just, I know when I watch the news, I think about my grandkids and go, God, what kind of world are they growing up in? Because you hear about it, I mean, kids coming from good families and,
He was in his, I believe he was 24. That's all I have for departmental updates.
I don't know if you had heard or not, but when we were doing the orientation, there was an individual lost. Betsy Ross over there that just seemed a little bit out of place and asking for how to get to Olive Street and Prefont and, I think Garcia, little girl.
Garza?
Garza, yeah, sorry. They were talking to him and then the guy left and when I got my car and drive away, they were back talking to him again. I was just kind of curious if anything ever happened with that one.
No, I know who you're talking about. He wasn't from around the area, and they gave him a ride.
Okay. I was
elsewhere.
joking with him. Why don't you guys give him a ride?
The sunglasses, right?
Yeah.
Long hair, yeah.
Well, I do have one more item. It's more of like a community concern and and it actually happened over by Commissioner Meyer's neighborhood. On Hintz, there's a young man that was crossing over to Wheeling High School yesterday and was struck by a car. The person that was hit was a 7th grader, MacArthur. The driver of the vehicle was a 17-year-old. Looks like he's going to survive, though, but it was a pretty serious accident.
was he?
And it shut down Hintz for a couple hours.
Was he a Prospect Heights resident, the individual that was hit,
Wheeling resident.
A Wheeling resident.
Wheeling resident?
There was a training that I went to when I was in Springfield for, it was put on by an organization, and I don't know if you're familiar with the chief, Below 100.
Correct.
About trying to keep officers safe even in their day-to-day duties and wearing seatbelts and things like that. I think it was a very, very, I thought, good, but it talked a lot about being distracted while in the police car and that kind of stuff, and how, about pursuing and things like that. So I kind of thought that maybe that's some kind of training that we might want to look into having for the officers.
We've been talking about it for a few years. We've actually implemented a lot of that already. And they use an acronym called WIN.
Yes.
Means what's
Exactly.
important now.
Right, right.
Okay, and how it applies to police work. I mean, is this really that important
Yeah.
that you have to do this? And again, I think that they were well on their way to reducing law enforcement deaths until the events of the last couple of years, and everything seems to have kind of started skewing the other way.
Right.
Didn't we have an incident in the department a few years back where someone got reprimanded for not stopping a pursuit? Don't I remember that?
Correct.
Yeah,
Right. So.
Again, I want to give out kudos for somebody that does
okay. Yeah.
Do it,
Yeah.
right.
do it and is following the rules, because the instinct is to chase.
Yeah.
We all want to lock up the bad guy. The instinct is to go after him right away. It takes a lot
To
to
hold
pull,
back.
to pull the reins back and shut everything down. And this is a younger officer that did it. He followed his training.
Mhm.
I think Chicago calls off after 3 traffic violations. That's their rule of thumb. Speed, red light, turn signal, whatever, 3 things, and then they stop. And the bad guys know it.
Correct. You can always catch him by Motorola. not worth it. It's not worth it to the folks that are innocent, that are out there
Right.
driving. It just, for like everyone that might be successful, you know, it seems like there's a number that are not successful, and there's some type of either property damage or, more importantly, injury that occurs, and then you're talking about other issues as well, and it's just not worth it. Again, if it's some type of felony where it involves, where somebody's killed somebody or grievously injured somebody, or there's been a bank robbery or a kidnapping, by all means, you know, that's our job. But just to chase somebody for traffic only, not worth it.
Where were those folks from anyway?
They're from the city.
Any correspondence or communications?
No, sir.
One communication that I have, May 1st is our new year, correct?
Correct.
I don't know if the chairman's position, I can't remember if it's done annually or by the term, but one way or the other, I will be in a new term on May 1st. So we need to address the chairman's position in the May meeting.
You're volunteering still, aren't you?
Yeah,
That
I'm
wasn't-
hoping so.
That wasn't a campaign.
Hoping so, right?
The other matter that I think that we also need to address too, and we'll get you the information, Stephanie's working on it, is your annual report, the chairman's annual report.
If some other chairman takes over, they can have the annual meeting. That's why I did it in that sequence. If it takes you that long to put it together, I already saw the stack was about that big. When I
That's
was
not true.
Well, it was,
That's not true.
you know, I tried to condense that down into one page. Right, Joe?
Nah, it's not that bad.
Okay. Next meeting, May 31. No, our next meeting will be May 27th. Do we want to keep the May 31? We should probably keep the May 31 open because hopefully we'll be able to take some action on May 31.
May 27th should be a special meeting. Both of those meetings should be special meetings.
Right, but we
And
do
then have-
need to, they have to be formal meetings.
Correct.
Remember.
And we will announce them, and then we'll take action at the May 31st.
May 31st meeting, okay.
And you want those special meetings at the police department or here?
Police Department.
Okay.
But yeah, I know their meetings, I know we have to open, close, go through the formality of it, so I'm assuming they have to be published, Karen?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Anybody have anything else?
So I have-
No, sir.
Motion to adjourn,
I second.
signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye?
motion, meeting adjourned.